Blood Wars. The nature display.
Or an insight check, whichever you think is appropriate.
I think nature is pushing it a little bit.
All right, we'll do insight then. So 14 again.
All right. So I'm going to
Nature
move another
displays
guy.
the nature of nature.
So you say it was necessary to use ghouls.
It is never necessary when one is in a bad situation. You use the tools we're at hand. We did not create these ghouls. I believe the former owners of that land created a situation in the slave camps where ghouls were created.
The former owners, the ones that you then recruited and added to your security forces, I believe.
Again, when you have nothing but shit to work with, you build castles with it.
Yes, it just seems interesting that you would take obvious psychopaths, basically, and then put them in control. Especially when a large section of your population had already been subjugated by them. It kind of seems like letting the jailers loose in the asylum.
Well, dear sir, as I've said, we are adventurers. We don't know how to administer a realm. We don't understand these things. This is why we need people like you to show us our mistakes. I would admit that we did a bung-up job of it, and that is why we should not be placed in charge of anything ever again.
Oh,
Maybe
we're pretty sure you'll never be, placed in charge of anything ever again. I tend to see.
We are in full agreement.
Shadunk. You've only got one undecided left. Right, Marak. It's time to bring the king to the stand. So, what are you planning on? What's your tack for this then?
I'm a dinosaur.
Shall I just move a couple of guys across? Just be done with it. Because unfortunately, your two strong ones are pretty much gone now.
I was gonna do history, and because I'm going to be talking about the history of the land of Cybertron, and about the reasons behind what we've done, and all of our long list of things that we've done that is horrible and despicable.
Was my speech good enough to stop me being executed when this goes badly?
Yeah, I think you're safe. The rest of you start rolling your characters.
I'm a dinosaur. Roar. Alright.
Your Grace, while we may have done lots of things, we did them all in the name of safety and justice and in the needs of the many. Had anything turned out differently, countless more would have died. It would have been much worse. The land that we had at the time that the war took place did not have enough, not enough of it was fertile to support the total population of everyone, had they all survived. When we took in the elves who were overseeing the slaves before we freed everyone and led a slave revolt, we would not have had the manpower to get the slaves back into a condition where they would be healthy. Had we not taken the airship and brought the people with us, they would not have survived for much longer in that space. Much of their land had been damaged by
Dragons.
Yes, by dragons and by the
ecological upheavals of a mountain society, of a mountain retreating, conjoining with a arid, what do you call it, region. They had encroaching ice fronts from a frozen plain area.
that, and I was going to say from the captain whose name I forgot.
Gnomeblight.
Gnomeblight.
Former Captain Chief Bosun Noldblight.
Yes.
Now, Admiral.
Our Admiral.
Now Admiral,
The-
former Captain Chief Bosun Noldblight. Scourge of the Seven Stars.
Yes. The airship pirate from whose airship we stole.
Oh,
Well, stole would be a wrong word. We commandeered it.
Acquired.
Yes. We won. That's what's important. And like my friend Gator said, we are adventurers. We are not fit to rule, clearly. But we did what had to be done to try and make life the best for the greatest number of people. We have fought many things and killed many things, trying to keep our people safe. Also, I was gone for a period of time and don't know some of the things that happened.
I was gone when all those bad things were done.
I actually was gone when those bad things were gone. I was in a different dimension.
You were rebooting.
Yes. Something like that.
My memory files of all those times have been deleted.
Or put behind software blocks.
Alright. Make your roll.
Okay.
Yep, that'll be enough to move this last guy over to yours. But unfortunately, probably not enough to move anyone else from the other side. So, yeah, you've got the majority of the jury at the moment.
Yep.
So, this is the prosecutor's now turn to you. At which point did you decide declaring yourself king was the best way of doing this?
Well, when the delegation came, it just kind of slipped out. When the delegation from the other kingdom came by. Because we hadn't really set up a political system at that point.
So you just upped and declared yourself king?
Yes. They never actually did anything with being king.
I don't know. Quite a few people seem to think of you as, ruler, despot, tyrant, megalomaniac. So,
I think they're referring to Burke.
No. But if you take the position of king, therefore you're responsible for all those who work for you. And a lot of bad things have happened by the people who work for you. In fact, there's quite a long list, really. There's quite a few reports of your friends going off and dealing with problems and you remaining in the palace, coming up with new and grander titles to yourself. I mean, what is it you currently refer to yourself as? For the court, please.
Rear Admiral Malrak, first of his name, Lord of the Fertile Fields, King of the glorious People's Republican Monarchy of New Cybertron, he who cannot hit the broadside of a barn.
So you're just doing it for the best.
Yes.
Ouch.
Zunk.
Ouch.
The prosecution's got snippy on that one.
Yeah. We're up to Burke now, so we're getting fun.
Oh god, this is going to end badly.
Alright. I am going to roll Dungeoneering for just...
He's going to eat the jury.
Civil projects, but... Alright,
You can't
I'm
vote
just going to
against me if
start...
I've eaten you.
Alright. Coming after the majority of my fellow companions have spoken before me, there is not much more I can say, but I will take personal responsibility for a list of those crimes since they were my initiatives. One, I did assassinate the general to destabilize the kingdom's forces. I also executed the Grand Vizier. But I must understand that I got a grand insight into his character before I did the deed. He had installed a barmaid as a political pawn, as queen, and was leading this whole insurrection for an attempt to secure more food for himself. If you wish to talk about people jumped up rulers establishing titles to somebody, you should have seen the long list of titles he gave her off the top of his head when she was presented to us. So we are not the only one guilty of that. Besides, the title thing was it was a running joke we had among ourselves because we found ourselves in charge, and we were not appointed at all to our position. So we just kept appointing each other to the multiple hats each of us had to wear as we gained more and more tasks to do. On the line of ghouls, again, this was a resource scarce environment. More so when we had less than a land you could toss a stone across and not have it come back around and hit you in the back of the head. We have been trying to maintain trying to preserve and protect as many peoples and populaces as possible. We probably have done it poorly. We've tried the best we could. The majority of let the majority of the crimes of caprice of villainy rest on my head for those I have personally killed. I've been the war leader.
It's interesting, and thank you for admitting several of the crimes. Sorry.
But let me take that I'm taking that as personal responsibility. Please do not punish my comrades for my own actions.
All right. Would you like to make your roll?
What am I rolling again? Can I just roll diplomacy?
Yeah, roll diplomacy. Yeah, that's about right.
Rolling lows.
Yep. So, it's interesting that you admit several crimes, which is helpful. I'm a man of good character. I do not lie to the fact that I have done several horrible things for the good of the many. My intentions were more pure than my actions. My actions were out of necessity. My intentions are pure. Well, yes, but your actions are far from pure. What about the cannibalism?
Cannibalism was merely a Rosen de Guerre that we used to destabilize the kingdom forces when they first came. It was
interesting ruse for someone who converts a ghoul.
The ghouls were already there. We were just making use of the tools that we had at hand.
So unleashing undead monstrosities is just using the tools.
They're not undead. They're merely perverted.
They feast on the dead. Okay, creatures that feast upon the dead. People, the dead, which are people's friends.
Hey, I'm rolling an engineering check on.
This is my turn to talk. My turn.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
See, you can't even conduct yourself in a civilized manner in a courtroom.
GM uses parents' voice.
It is super effective.
So, yeah, you unleash something that is people's friends and family. Now, these things eat. And you think that's a logical thing to use in a battle? You can't see how that would cause a problem.
If I may interject here?
You've had your chance. Shut your elf up.
Shove your elf up.
As I really do not think I have to deal with this one much. I mean, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, or maybe just gentlemen of the jury, you can see this. I mean, how many weapons did we take off this one? What, 5, 6?
No, you took about 8 off, and I want my weapons back after this is done if I live, please. I have a receipt.
That just says it all. No, it's only going to get 1 across. Right. Atty, have fun.
Alright. Well, I'm going to be doing bluff, obviously, but I'm I'm just gonna just be happy and smiling and say, you know, a lot of these things really aren't as bad as they seem. A lot of it was actually trickery by myself. For example, the cannibalism. Honestly, that was just a joke I came up with off the top of my head when people are coming towards me. There was 20 people lined up, and there was just two of us, and I thought, well, how do I scare these people off? And I'll tell you, it worked. As for using the ghouls later, as people said, when we first had them, they were a vital resource. There was a lot of dead bodies in that slave camp, and there was not really an opportunity to consecrate them. So, well, we used the ghouls as a safe method of disposing them. And afterwards, when there was an opportunity to get rid of them, that's what we did. You'll notice that the ghouls are no longer there because they were killed in the battle. Now, some things have been made about this death cult I've been starting. I'll say, first of all, this is not a cult of murder, but rather one of aestheticism and suicide. There were many widows and orphans, I left after the battle, and there was a lot of shortage of resources, and so I gave people the opportunity to remove themselves from the population and move on to a better place while making lives better for others.
So,
Okay.
you're actually... Okay, yeah, make your own. Sorry.
Yep.
Why did we get
Come
the
on,
crazy
come on.
the actual chance to talk?
Yes.
Oh! Even with a neg, I can't really do much against a natural 20, can I? Apparently,
I am very damn convincing.
Apparently.
I would be a lot more convincing if I wasn't so freaking tired.
So, you think convincing people to commit suicide is a good thing?
Well, again, consider the circumstances. We did remove the fighting forces, the ones that were most likely to cause rebellion, and also the ones that ate the most, but there still just wasn't enough. There was going to be a crunch before our fields gave their harvest. So people were going to die already. This way they allowed them to have dignity and have a sense of purpose that they were helping others.
And you still deny the fact you're a cannibal?
Oh, certainly. You can check me over. I don't have any ghoulish features. That was all just a story.
Well, yes. I don't think we'll be doing that. The thing is that the fact that you're having both a death cult and the cannibalism, and we have several reports of flesh being left outside your house, kind of points in one way.
What can I say? I'm a very convincing storyteller. Perhaps a bit too convincing. Now that things are a bit more settled, I'm going to dial things back. I'm probably going to try to turn the cult into more of a monastic order. Still focused on helping others and limiting one's own resource consumption, but the time for death, I think, has passed.
And what about the assassination?
Well, I actually did kill the general. I did land the killing blow, but that was in the middle of the battle, and it was a legitimate tactic of war.
Going to a peace talk and then murdering the other general is it?
No. Oh, you mean the vizier? The vizier was Burke. The general was.
The general.
Yeah, the general was directing his forces in battle, and our strategy was to disrupt the battle by killing the leadership. That is a perfectly legitimate tactic of war.
Yeah, unfortunately you made a good case there, so I'm only going to move one. Alright, so we've kind of completed the first round. Alright, it's time for some witnesses.
Ah!
Oh god.
So, who would you guys like to see first?
Gnome Blight. Why not?
Alright. So, Gnome Blight walks up. Yeah, first witness to be called.
Says he was the first NPC we acquired.
I wish Alvin Archer 2 was here to see this day.
He didn't live long enough to be granted a name.
He lived long enough to live on in our hearts.
This campaign has the best running gags.
So Captain Gnomeblight comes up, takes the witness chair, and basically he launches into a spiel. I mean, I was peacefully minding my own business in a village, taking the supplies that my crew desperately needed. We weren't there to kill everyone, but unfortunately the villagers resisted, and blah blah. He's trying to make himself sound like a good guy. And then they attacked. They killed half my crew. They killed Little Jim, sorry.
Little Jim, no!
Big Jim, I thought it was. They threw him off the side of a boat.
An alligator did that.
Well, yeah. And then they enslaved me. They locked me and my remaining 2 crew members in the hold of our own ship and left us there for several days in terrible, cramped conditions. Then, finally, they told us that if we didn't work for them, they would murder us. And, well, what else can we do? Go along with them. As things went from bad to worse, we continued to go along with them. These people should be hung, drawn, quartered, possibly, spread to the 4 corners of the realm, although in this case it isn't a very long journey. But yeah, everything they've been said, cannibalism, all's true. Lucky for you, he's not a very convincing speaker.
Well, the fact that he's telling outwag whopping lies.
Yeah. So,
who wants to cross?
Yep, you can cross-examine.
Can we make
I'm going to missay his name as Captain Gnomeblight instead of Admiral Gnomeblight and see if he corrects me. So I'll say, Captain Gnomeblight.
No, he doesn't correct you.
Okay. You seem to have done quite well for yourself in the new administration, have you not? What is your present title?
I am the Admiral here.
And you have a lovely quarters here and are well taken care of. It seems the Duke has done a very...
Thank you very much.
So the government here is giving you back your ship, installed you as a High Admiral, and all they've asked in return is that you testify against us. Is this correct?
No. I'm to lead the search for new lands, to scout areas to make sure that the area isn't dangerous.
And, of course, burn and enslave the native populaces as you were doing when we came across you.
No, we don't. That was just for food.
Oh,
the
but certainly it is your word against ours, is it not?
When you were harming we actually have the people, the Duke of Argyle's own. Make Burke call in a counter witness of one of our original, one of the Argyle's original people we met.
Yep.
The original citizens.
Yep.
To testify the character of Gnomeblight.
Yep, you can do that, and of course they will completely destroy you. So at this point, if you just want to make your diplomacy roll, actually, I don't even bother rolling. I'll give you 1.
He just comes in and drop kicks Gnomeblight in the face.
Yeah,
basically.
Right. So that's 1 witness down.
Can we call in the the Archmage as another witness?
Actually,
let's not.
I call in the former commissar from Red Bull, the one we captured alive?
Yes. I don't know if I still have his token. Let's have a quick look.
He doesn't have a token.
Yeah, he did. It was kind of bandit or something. I think Gray just picked the first one with red he saw.
Yeah. Can't really see it now.
You can always just upload a JPEG of M. Bison.
No, because I have to restart the whole thing.
Oh, damn.
We can act as though he's there if you'd wish.
There we go. That will do. Where's he gone?
He's now the Quantum Commissar. My people need me. Flip.
Oh dear. Oh, sod it. Have that guy. I know he's an elf, but...
Elf Archer 2! He's returned!
That's an Elven Ranger. Don't sully Elven Archer 2's memory with misidentifying him.
It's been so long since I don't remember his face anymore.
His face will never leave me.
So, Commissar begins to talk, of course, about how you attacked, slaughtered every one of his men in like seconds, annihilated the force he'd put together.
Fate put it together, but built a toad.
Yeah, several people were swallowed. It was horrible. He's having nightmares about it. PSD. Yeah, kind of all that stuff.
So basically, what you're telling us is that you're a shit commander and a scaredy cat.
Whoa, Gator. I got this.
Go ahead.
Right. Do I have a chance to question him?
Yep.
Right. Just a few simple yes or no questions, if I may. Firstly, Commissar, when you led your forces against us in the attack in which your men were unfortunately defeated, was there an official declaration of war between our two nations?
I'm not sure. I was not privy to the
A
political...
yes or no question, if I may.
I cannot answer yes or no to a question I don't understand. I don't have the actual answer to.
So there was no official declaration of war that you were aware of. You were just sent out.
Yes, we were sent to protect the border.
Right. So, and would you consider the actions of our two parties where your men were defeated an act of war? Or as in, it was a legitimate battle?
Yeah, you attacked us, but yes, it was a legitimate battle.
And
On whose land?
Yeah.
On our
It was
land.
on our land.
It's on our land.
I believe, if you recall correctly, it took place on the cliff sides and our land below the cliff sides.
No, it was on top of the cliff. I definitely remember we were on top of the cliff.
There's
Gender
ample
made on it.
physical evidence of the battle.
Not enough. There's so many dead around there, you can't prove it.
So many dead, and yet you survived. Would that be evidence that we showed you clemency?
You captured me so you could torment me.
And were you tortured?
Only
No,
with puns.
humiliated, but not tortured.
And,
Yes,
were you in fact installed as part of the administration when we peacefully took over the ruling of Red Bull?
I wouldn't say peacefully took over.
Well, would you say you were privy to the war and the hostilities that existed between the Kingdom and Red Bull? Would you say that if the Kingdom had won the battle and taken over Red Bull, the situation would have been a lot worse for your people?
Oh, definitely. But then again, it would have been a lot better for their people.
And I'd just like to point out, did you not kill one of your own men to force them into battle with us?
That was a military decision. We were having to install discipline on troops that weren't properly trained.
So the killing of someone in battle to ensure discipline is, to your people in your culture, a valid tactic?
Yeah, at the time, for desperate measures, yes.
Right. So that was socially acceptable amongst your people, right? And finally, the Citizen Council who made up Red Bull, would you say that they were willing to surrender to us?
Yes, once you've annihilated the entire army.
But yet, in the conversation, they refused to surrender to us and were in fact willing to fight on to the death before they were persuaded otherwise by myself and my colleagues here, without the use of violence and without any looting, violence, raping or pillaging occurring after the fact.
Well, there really wasn't enough for you to do anything after the fact. But yeah,
There was enough of us to destroy your army, in your own words, so how do you make that assumption?
my squad, not my army.
And where was your army?
Fighting the kingdom.
So, if I may reiterate the points that you have made, you have said that the actions carried out between ourselves and you were under the auspices of war, that within your culture it is socially acceptable to kill a combatant in the name of keeping discipline, and also that the occupation that we presided over was peaceful. Is that correct?
You could twist the words to that, yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
No further questions.
All right. Don't know why I even bother.
He rolls a 20 even when he's not rolling a 20.
When clerics get to speak.
He carries that soapbox in a quick release holster. Just throws that thing down and jumps on top.
I would like to call the toad, please. I require my implements so that I can summon the toad to speak for us.
No, we're not having the toad here. It'll just eat someone.
Yeah. Let's call the vizier then. Let's call the tiefling. Felright.
Okay.
And
This is unusual. You want to call? Yeah. Okay. Yes. I'm not quite sure what he would know about the situation.
we shared a book with you during our incarceration. We would just like for you to explain to the jury the contents of that book and what insights you drew from reading it.
Okay. The book they showed me, and there was some corroborating evidence, is regarding what we are all doing here in this void. Apparently there is a demigod or some other powerful being which wishes to become its own god. To do so, it's created a world free of other gods to which it can become the sole ruler. The book seemed to have been drawn out of some transdimensional library, but looked real. It was definitely an old book, so not one they'd made up recently. Even with magic, you could tell the difference. And they were also damn it, I can't say that word. Support this.
Corroborated.
That's the one. I just had a stammer occasionally. It just stops me speaking properly. Support this with evidence that these forces were active in the tomb that we found on the edge of their land. So, as far as that says, yes, they do seem to be fighting a greater evil. And linking into their adventurer talk, they do just seem to have gotten over their head and a little crazy with power. I can't say, of course, if what they did was right or necessary, but they do seem to be trying to fight evil, which is at least something in their example.
And I guess my only other question would be, at this point, us standing before you in cages and this force out there, who are you more afraid of at this point, and who do you think we should be fighting?
Swear to me. What? Sorry.
Probably the dwarf. And the halfling,
Well,
but
we can agree
okay.
on the dwarf.
Never
thing
minding the
first,
dwarf.
Our group as a whole.
Most likely it's Silver Force. If what the book was, talking about is true, then yeah, we have a serious problem in that we do not want this person to become a god.
Well, I hope you allow us to help you with this problem, for our own sake and for yours.
Okay. 1 second. Yeah, that's probably going to be enough to swing the undecideds. At this point, there's not really much they can do to you.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So, you can go on a little bit more, but, end of the day.
We have had three. We've had 3 witnesses. We've had all our statements. I think we're pretty much good for the verdict now.
Can we offer to give up our claims of the king in order for a small area of land to call our own, and the opportunity to run quests for our new lords?
We can ask for a governorship.
Yeah.
If that's all possible. Since he has acquired such a larger vast of land that we will be more happy to become vassals of the Duke.
Yeah. Well, we can just say the We just want the former kingdom of New Cybertron, and the kingdom and Red Bull can be under his demands.
Well, not being a separate kingdom involved. Oh, go ahead.
The county.
No man wants.
The county of Cybertron.
Yeah.
New Cybertron. But new is important.
Sorry.
The new is
Because
important for copyright reasons.
Because of
Yep.
old Cybertrons.
You're totally not associated with that other Cybertron in any legal way.
No, not at all.
Right. So you're trying to push to actually have some sort of legal position in here.
We're not pushing, we're merely inquiring.
Yes.
Well, subordinate to his lordship, of course.
We would like to have a small space where we can do our adventuring things when we are not out on adventure without disturbing the populace as we have in the past.
Like a guild hall or some sort.
Basically, a small place to keep us out of your way.
Keeping you segregated from the main population would probably be very useful.
Separate but not equal never works. Sorry, what?
No, separate, but away from people who actually want to kill you does work.
Yeah.
Give you the two. Yeah. Put you in the two. That would work.
Hmm?
Yeah,
We're taking up
seal
the
the
two.
door up. Make sure. Sorry. That would be politically expedient if not morally correct.
The tombs are new guild hall.
No, he's just doing what he's saying. What he'd want to do.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, looking at the map, you have an outpost being built in the wooded area towards near the tomb.
May I make an interjection, Lord, that those woods used to be are habitable by sapient, plants that will sooner or later acquire to eat to acquire to eat any fauna that is in the area.
Or we've wiped most of that out.
Yeah, well, it seems like somewhere we'd need a group of brave adventurers who would stop at nothing to destroy them.
If I may, Your Lordship, that would be generous. Would it be possible to include as part of that Demez the Archmage's tower that is located? Domain that the Archmage's tower located within the river.
I'm not sure. I've spoken with this Archmage. He does not seem all there, but he has obviously got some power.
Well, better he be our problem than yours.
I'm inclined to agree on you there.
Yes, you to be in his laboratory.
I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to grant you that land.
So the lands south of the stone wall of New Cybertron and south of the cliffs of Red Bull.
Yes. So.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I think we could slap some paint on that tomb and make a really bitchin' fortress, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already a skull fortress.
Like maybe paint like some butterflies and trees on the side or something, and put a jester hat on the skull or something.
A big old peace symbol on the side.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. We're going to rename it New Grayskull.
Cyber Skull.
Cyber Skull.
Yeah, you're going to chip it to make it a little bit more angular.
Better yet, Servo Skull.
Servo Skull.
Cyberdyne.
Servitor?
Cyberdyne Systems.
Cyberdyne Systems. Cyberdyne
Wait,
Systems.
have we got this in
Incorporated.
writing now? This is officially like our land?
Yes, you're subservient to him, but yeah.
Awesome. We have the major patch of clean drinking water.
Yeah.
No. Down here.
We have the swamp and the wood that wants to eat us.
We can get to work on the swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything else rams into your area, we'll discuss terms. But for now, that should be enough land for you.
It looks like some divine being has some plan for this space between the tomb and the land. I'm curious to see what it'll end up being.
We can make that
it
into
could be
a.
some divine being forgot to fill that bit in.
That
Or
too.
it could be that it could be that one day that will be the perfect place for our future airship production line when we start making dry docking airships.
Like anything's going to last that long. Sorry.
You gotta have dreams, Gray. I have
Yeah,
a dream.
but you know how quickly the land's filling up, so.
I know.
Yeah, but at least we have a whole lot of neutral territory between us and a lot of this stuff now.
Yes.
Better yet, volcano right there. That would be the best.
Right, volcano.
So
it
we'll
is.
be villains?
When the Swedish bikini team piece of island comes and attaches it to our side, we'll probably have another war.
Probably.
With the Swedish bikini team.
Yes. An oil war.
I have to. If I have to ask before we before we leave the trial, can you at least unlock the Duke of Albany just so I can see him flip around the map?
Well, I have to accept move, but I think I cancelled it.
The Duke commences the dance of justice as a sign that the trial is over.
Damn.
Yeah, it doesn't have an accept move, so it's obviously cancelled.
Oh, that's sad. That would have been the best.
Do you want to load something in now? You can.
Okay, so we have successfully become vassals of the Duke of Albany. We have not been summarily
Argyle.
Argyle. I'm sorry. Why do I have Albany in the brain?
We'd be enslaved in his sock factories.
I thought it was a sweater factory.
Sweater factory, sorry.
Wait,
He's expanding.
What is the thing about the Duke of Albany? I don't know.
No, an Argyle sweatshirt is a thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
in Dark Souls, there are gargoyles. At least according to Geop. Oh, no, wait, that was Kubo.
That's the Duke's pirates.
Edit
the Gargoyles.
that line out. Edit it so it doesn't say Geop, so it says Kubo. I don't want to sound that dumb.
So we have
Alright.
to come up with a new name for Malrak next, too. He can still be the rear admiral in our
Yes.
Yeah,
county.
you're no longer a king. You have been demoted. Forced to
He's
have
the count. Count Malrak.
Count.
Count
We should be
Lord
still
Malrak.
in charge.
Republican monarch.
He has to go around going, oh!
No. He is Sir Knight Lord Malrak, King of the Sentient Shrubberies. Lord of the Sentient Shrubberies.
Yeah, we no longer have the fertile fields. Dang it.
No,
Yeah. We only have the
swamp
same-
I
fertile
considered
fields.
that.
You have your stagnant swamp now.
It's nice to
Lord
see
of
we
the
have.
stagnant swamp.
All right, do we get
Well,
what's the
stagnant swamps are good for growing herbs.
That's already under full production, my friend.
Special herbs.
Pay no attention to some
Healing
of the
herbs.
plants growing around the base of these trees. They
Elvish
should
herbs.
not be dried and smoked under any circumstances.
Unless you're accompanied
Oh
by
wait, no,
your
I have to
local
change
druid.
that to. I have to change that to Republican County. New Cybertron.
All right. So, do we have any time advance for the next have this happening next episode of the land hitting, or what's up?
I've got nothing else planned because I wasn't sure how long that would take.
Well, it's only about half an hour, 40 minutes from when we normally end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the XP bonus for successfully getting
I'll be
successfully
nice.
defeating about half the
We got to
the
not be
opposition?
killed, and we got land.
Yeah.
Could we make it 434 by any chance?
Yes, that'll probably work very well.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now,
We
make it
defeated the legal system and gained its
35.
power.
435.
Is that a level up exactly?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a level up +1.
Oh.
And now all our modifiers are +2.
Huzzah! We defeated the legal
Yay.
system and got stronger.
Yay.
Right,
Just
now
like Paris
how
Hilton.
many is it for the next level?
Man, what level
Lots.
is Lindsay Lohan now? She must be like 17th level.
Oh dear, I think I just. Oh wait, no, I don't
Charlie
get any cool
Sheen.
things level 4. Level
So at
4
level
is a
4,
4
you
level
get-
for me.
You get bonuses to statistics, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
your
take a
mod
look
goes
at-
up to
Oh
+2.
yeah, you get +1 to 2 different stats, right?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I can pull it up.
And a
Mhm.
feat,
Mm.
Many feet.
any feat you want.
Oh, and
You know what? Burke has been 10 days without his weapons, and I think I'm going to take that feat that lets me punch at D8s. Burke needs weapons at all times, or he goes a bit cuckoo.
He's a bit kooky to start with.
So, my computer almost just had me move my C drive into a folder on the C drive.
That'd probably not be a good thing.
hey, no
Oh.
recursion.
But I can get the thing that Burke. The biggest thing about Burke I like about him is that he's better at talking to Eldritch Abominations or villains than he is at talking about normal people.
Yeah, because he can only intimidate.
Yeah, he can intimidate you or eat you if he's out of those two options.
My diplomacy is higher than my intimidate. I wish intimidate was strength based, not charisma based, because I don't understand that.
That's why you have a low charisma.
Coercion.
You don't understand it.
One thing I liked about Dragon Age is that they actually had coercion as a buildable stat.
Okay, I'm
This is
getting
also on the
nimble
report.
dodge. Now my dodge will be even better.
All right, Burke is going to reenact Minecraft and take Monk unarmed strike as a feat, and by practicing punching trees.
All right, guys, I got to run. It's 3:30. Thanks for
Okay.
finishing early for me.
Yeah,
Take
that's
care,
the plan.
Gator.
Yeah.
Later.
All right.
Ooh.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to stop the recording. You don't want to hear
Alright.
people leveling up. So, see you
Yeah.
next week.